Hello, welcome to this channel. I'm Kouki. Well, okay, so these are some difficult times that people are going through with their relationships, seems to be that. And so, because for the past few videos, I have been talking about relationships in a sense. Well, now for this one, this is gonna be how to get a divorce. And this is gonna be a masterclass. It's not how to get a divorce 101, it is how to get a divorce masterclass. Now, I am a divorcee myself. Hello. Maybe you will be one soon, okay? Celebrate that. Divorcee, hello. Now, I'm a divorcee myself and I have gone through divorce. And so I'm speaking from personal experience. I have been asked by someone recently about, so she asked me how to get a divorce. Now, I'm not talking about getting a divorce with just legal papers, okay? That is not my job. I'm not a lawyer. I'm here to share my personal experience with you regarding emotional detachment and also how to liberate yourself from any kind of suffering relating to your marriage or divorce, okay? That is my role. I'm not your lawyer. I'm not talking about legal things, okay? Legal issues. That you gotta ask your lawyer. So when it comes to all governmental institution, right? So what I want to suggest here is that in response to that lady's question, so she asked me if she should get a divorce in her situation and how should she do it. She asked me for my advice. And so I told her, I was like, well, now for her case, she has 2 kids. Her kids are the age of around like 7 and 9. Okay, 7 and 9. I said, I know your husband has been really treating you in a very abusive way, because she told me that her husband was really disrespectful to her, like just shout at her all the time and really treat her like nothing. Okay, that's what she told me. And so I was like, okay, I acknowledge that. I understand what you're saying. And I feel, I feel empathetic to you. I understand. So, however, it is your own karma. Like, as in you two's own karma between yourself is your own karmic debt or your own thing, okay? I am not here to intervene, and nor am I the one to say anything about your marriage, if you should get a divorce or not. The only thing that I could say, that's what I said to her, the only thing that I can say to you is that what I did when it comes to my own divorce. So this is actually what I'm going to share here as well, but in a more extended version. Because what I told her was simply the following. I said, so if you want to get a divorce, the first thing you should know is that, are you determined to do so? Because for me, personally, when I went through that, I was, like, I thought through it. I understand that this is not the kind of life that I want, nor the kind of person that I can foresee to be with in the future, not even in the next year. So I know that this person shall not be in my future, shall not. And so shall I take action to eliminate this person out of my life. That is my determination and my will. And so I act accordingly to this will of mine. So the reason is why I asked her about this. I was like, you have to be very determined when it comes to your own decision. Like, you have to know what you want and what you need. If you don't know what you need and what you want, your actions would not be aligned. And so you would linger. You would procrastinate. So the key here is, first thing, for this video as well, for all of you or of the viewers for this video, make sure you know you're determined. And how to be determined is to make very clear of what you want and what you need. Can you foresee your future with this person? Now, no emotional attachment here, okay? Literally just think for your own well-being. Think for yourself. Think for yourself. Don't even care about that person. No, do not. Why are you getting a divorce? You're hoping to live a better life without this person. So that's why do not inject any kind of emotional values in this part. No, you're making up your mind because you need to know what you need for yourself. So it's not about that person. You don't have to care about that person's feeling. If they are actually in a state that is weak or whatever it is their own karma. Yes, I'm not joking. So if you actually want to live with their karma, then that's your choice. And the reason that you want a divorce now is because you don't want to live with their karma anymore. Yes, because when you bond with a person through marriage, you're actually taking up their karma. You guys are linked. Yes, that's what I experienced as well. And once I divorced, I was like, oh my goodness gracious. Best decision I've ever made in my life. I'm still up to this day, still the same. I would say that's the best decision, one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. Now, so that's for the first key, is you gotta be determined. You gotta have that determination, and you gotta think it through thoroughly for yourself, for your well-being. If you have kids, same thing. It's not about the kids right now. Nope, it's about you. It's about you because if you are unwell, so would not your kids be well. No, they would not. If you are unwell and you're just staying for the sake of having them to be in a family that doesn't seem to be broken, that's gonna be a lot of emotional damage done to the kid. If you even happen to want to stay in such a situation that's already so distorted, and you just try to mend it, try to put the pieces back together, but it's actually falling apart, no, it's not gonna work. It's even worse to have kids to stay in situations that is already broken, and no one's actually trying to mend. People are just, none of you is trying to repair. You're already thinking about divorce. You have tried. Yes, you have tried to repair. I did as well, but it didn't work out. What happened to my own marriage was that the core values did not match. And that's what I learned through the divorce, which is when I, near the end of it, the marriage, I realized that we literally did not have core values matched. Core values like money, the worldview, like the money view, the worldview, family view, personal development, and also relationship goals with each other. No, none of this actually match. So that's what I learned. And that's good, because only then I learned that, oh wow, I actually have to look at all these things to check them. Not the appearance, not just interests, not just hobbies matching, not just we love going to the same cafe. No, these are all superficial. We have to look at the core values. If the core values, what I just pointed out, they don't match, nope, you're not gonna go long. You're not gonna go long. That's what happened to me. Okay, so the first key was determined. You gotta make clear of who you are. It's a very good learning process. I have to be honest. The divorce is a very good learning process, because through that, you would then realize more of yourself. You would realize through the contrast, or say the mismatch between you and this person, your spouse, you would then realize more about yourself. You would then learn more about yourself. You would then learn more about yourself through that juxtaposition between you and your spouse. You see that? Because we learn things through similarity, but also through contrast, right? There are different ways of learning. So take this as an opportunity to learn about yourself. All right. Now, first key, determination. Second and third. So what I did after I made the decision, right? My entire will was that I am to literally make it clean. Like clean detachment from this person. That's it. So what is necessary to have relationships to be cut clean? Now, if you have kids, then that's a kind of a different case, right? But it depends on how you want to play the game. Life as a game, okay? Life as a game. Not like the divorce is a game. No, like your life, okay? Yeah, no, I'm not saying that divorce is a game. So if you have kids, then that could be another situation. If your kids are still young, right? But all in all, what are the two major things that connect you with this other person, your spouse, right now? Only two things. So these would also be the two keys that I'm going to talk about. The first one is material attachment, right? The second one is emotional attachment. So we have to detach both of this clean in a polite way, and thus no more attachments necessary. So, okay, no more attachments necessary. So for the first one, material detachment or attachment to become detached, right? You're detaching from this person. There are many things. You have assets, you have maybe a mortgage sharing, a house, such and such. No, but I'm the type of person that even if we have any kind of material things entangled, I would literally give to that person just to get rid of that person out of my life. Yes, I'm such a person because I understand that my emotional stability and my life force is so much more important than the material things that I have right now with this person. It is so much more important that I have emotional stability and to have a healthy life. And as I know that this person, when I'm just so much better without this person. And so I know at that point I already know, and then I would be like, okay, I need to get rid of this toxicity. I'm not saying that this person is toxic. It's this dynamics is toxic. Okay, I'm not pointing fingers at the person. It's the dynamics is very toxic. I have to get out of it because it's not good for my well-being. So what I did was, it was a very unpopular move at that time. But now in hindsight, actually, whoever was kind of opposed to my decision at that time, they agreed with it now. They agree with my decision at that point now. So what I did was, I think there was something like dowry, right? Dowry, DOWRY. So it was, traditionally speaking, it was supposed to be mine, okay, my side of family after we get married, okay? Now, when it comes to the divorce, I decided by myself. Of course, I talked to my family, my parents as well, but even if they were kind of like, they didn't feel comfortable with that, my decision, but I was just really adamant on it. Okay, I was like, nope, gotta do it. But I'm gonna explain why. There's a very strong reason behind my move. So what I did was I gave back all this dowry, all the money, all the the things back to him. But traditionally speaking, we would not do so. Okay, but I did. So I gave everything back to him. Because for my family, it would be like kind of weird. It's like how my parents would feel is that this man is already treating my daughter so horribly, and now we even have to give back this kind of material things like the money to this person. Like this is ridiculous, That's what my parents would think. But for me, no. The reason why I did that was because it's for complete material detachment, disconnection. Meaning, this person would not have a reason to contact me or a reason to bear a grudge against me or a reason to ever reach out to me again. Yep. I thought it through. Now, for this step, material detachment is with the mind of the man. Strategic. It's a strategic move. I would say this for the material thing for the material detachment is a strategic move. Okay. Now for the emotional detachment, it's more of a emotional detachment move. So it's more of the feminine side. But it's in a very peaceful way. And there's also a reason why behind it. Okay. Now, so if it's in your case, now I'm going to stay in the material first. If it's in your case, you have a lot of things entangled together. I can't give advice to your situation because that is your situation, right? So the only thing that I can do is by sharing my own experience here, which is the way to be clean, to cut clean, is to give. Reasonably, of course. Reasonably is not that you become homeless afterwards. Like, no, don't do this to yourself, okay? Like, give yourself a safety net. Know that you have a backup thing for yourself, okay? But your focus on detaching from any kind of possible connections with this person, materialistically speaking. Does it make sense? Detach. Because this person would have no more way to contact you anymore. Because you have no links. You have no exchange. No more. Cut them all. Now, for my situation is because I know that I wouldn't want this person ever in my life again. So maybe in your situation, you might not. You might actually want to stay friends with this person. So that could be another way. But still, it would be much better to have these kind of material things come clean. Clean, settled, okay? Whatever is his, give it back. So then he would not bear a grudge against you. It's very important because this is like literally clear. If you don't do this cleanly, you would. It's very possible to have any kind of continuation of the karmic debt. Why? Because if this person bears a grudge at you, there's a certain emotional linkage. So the material detachment is for making sure no more emotional entanglement. Okay, that's why I made it clean. Does it make sense? That's it. So now, because I made it so clean, I give everything back. But I know that I'm safe. Okay, I know that I'm safe. I know that what I can work on with myself. I give it all back, and then that's for the material detachment. Now, for the emotional detachment is that because I cleaned up everything for the material linking with my ex-spouse, my emotional detachment, what I did was I make sure every single time I interacted with him before we signed the paper, like the official announcement of we are actually divorced, I made sure that I was very polite with him and respectful. Yeah. Just stay sane and calm and peaceful and just reasonable. That's it. And polite. Not that I actually bear a grudge against him. No. I did not. It's just that it's good to be neutral. It's very good to be neutral. Stay neutral. The reason is I wanted this marriage to end in a respectful way. That's what I thought. That's what I already told myself that I already know before I initiated the process, before I even asked for divorce. The reason is I wanted it to be respectfully detached or disconnected or divorced, the marriage, because I don't want any kind of remnants. I don't want any kind of residues. This person can miss me forever for his entire life, but that's none of my business. And I don't need any of his emotional projection towards me. Okay, so first off, material detachment, you have no reason to contact me anymore because we have nothing shared. And everything is clean. Zero. Okay, zero. For emotional detachment, I did not treat you bad in any way. I did not treat you disrespectfully. Why was the purpose of this? So that you would not be able to bear any grudge against me. You would not bear any hatred against me. So no emotional attachment at all. No emotional entanglement. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Like clean. That's why I said stay neutral. I chose to stay neutral. Focus on myself. I focused on living my life at that time. I focused on developing my hobbies and my things. Even on the day of the divorce, I still remember, because at that time I was like, I was starting a vegetarian takeaway shop, but then it didn't open in the end. But I was actually in preparation for that. He actually asked me on the day of the divorce that, oh, maybe you can give me a spot. I can help you out to do the the marketing or things like, or filming, photo shooting like that. And then I was like, in my mind, I was like, hell no. Hell no. I'm here to detach you. You here want to attach again? Like in my mind. But then on like outside, how I respond, I was like, no, it's all right. I know you have a full-time job. It's going to be a lot of work for you. So no need to do that. But thank you for asking, for offering. Neutral, polite, respectful. Done. You gotta know. So why did I bring this up? You gotta know very clear with what you want in your mind. Determination. You gotta be very determined. But on the outside, no, here, see, even on the inside, I'm not blaming him. I'm just repeating to myself what I want and what I need and what my will is. Okay, I'm not even demonizing this person. It's just I very clearly know what I want. Now, for this person, when I respond to him, stay neutral, stay polite, stay respectful. So he would not be able to bear any hatred against me, any kind of grudges. No, great, clean separation. Okay, so that's what it is. My point is 3. There are 3 key points that I am here to wrap up. First, make clear of what you want, what you need, and be determined. Okay, and then take actions accordingly to what you set out. The actions would then be in the 2 things that I mentioned, material detachment and emotional detachment. If your material detachment doesn't come clean, there's a very high chance that you would have emotional attachments as residue, as lingering. Okay, so that's why I made it very clear that I give everything back to him. All right, but make sure that you're safe when you give everything back, so to speak. You have to protect yourself as well. Now I'm talking to both men and women. Okay, it's not just for women or just for men. I'm talking to humans. I'm talking to everyone who is in need of such information or such sharing, okay, of personal experience. The third thing was emotional detachment, right? Stay neutral. Stay neutral, just stay neutral. Stay polite, respectful. Until forever. because for me, so what happened was what I did. So this is what I did, right? 1, 2, 3. Step 1, 2, 3. I think after we get divorced, very quickly within a month, I deleted his contact everywhere, and not even just his contact, but also all of his family's contact, like that I had, and also all his friends. I deleted it all, everything. Yeah, there's no need to even stay in contact. No need. And in fact, his father tried to contact me again. I think like maybe I think it was like 1 year later after the divorce, and I was like, nope, I don't care. I literally don't care. Whatever happened to his family, whatever it is none of my business. I'm this determined. So maybe you don't have to have such a determination as I do, okay, or as I did. It's up to you. But what I want to make clear here is that as long as you are determined to do anything, you would be able to do so, and the world would just go with you, go with your will, okay? And Again, I'm not suggesting to harm anyone, nor harming yourself, okay? Stay in peace and love and harmony. It's just when we navigate through these kind of complex situations involving material and emotional attachments, it's much better to stay neutral and come clean. All right, so here's what it is. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm gonna enjoy my grapes. Bye bye.